Hey,
Hello?
hello.
Hello?
Hello?
This is me. Is that you?
Hello?
Good evening, everybody,
Good evening.
and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Hey!
Okay. First of all, I'd like to welcome back my two regular co-hosts this evening, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moon Shadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton. Hey, Paul.
Hello, hello.
And Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Mike.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay. All right, well, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, now we've talked many times on the program about the advantage of using binoculars, especially if you're not quite sure whether to make that next step into a telescope. They are a great choice to get yourself started in the hobby. They are also very lightweight, they're inexpensive and portable. Now, perhaps as an advantage over a telescope, though, is that you can actually view things with both eyes. But what if you could use both of your eyes at the eyepiece of a telescope? I don't know if that can be done. These guys say yes, but in fact, I guess you can. And the accessory is called a Binoviewers. Now, tonight we'll chat about these devices that allow a larger three-dimensional version of the image that you are trying to observe and whether they are actually a worthwhile investment. I'll let these guys decide that as well. Also tonight, you can catch another fine binocular target of the week with Final Bud. Paul will be back to deliver another interesting Rosanna's fun fact this evening.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for tuning in, Paul.
I'm just trying to get my picture straight, that's all.
Okay. I'll have
I'm different than you.
I'll have a little bit of a view of what's up this week. Going to concentrate more on what's happening in a couple of weeks, I guess. And then I'll have your wonderful photo submissions to share as well. So sit back and enjoy, everybody. Remember, this is a family-friendly, live and interactive broadcast. So let's get started then with a look at Binoviewers and whether you should add them to your wish list.
Yes.
You should?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
BVD. BVD.
BVD.
Remember those three letters? We're going to talk about that. All right. So I've got some physical Binoviewers to show after. I think Mike's got a pair as well. But I've actually prepared a little chat about Binoviewers and whatnot. So we're going to do a little screen show first. So just give me a second here, and I'll make it happen. Number one. Our screen. Okay, you should be able to see that now.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
All right. So basically, Binoviewers, what are they, and what are the benefits? So first of all, just based on the photograph that you see there, Binoviewers are kind of what they say they are. It gives you the same kind of view or similar to what binoculars would do for you. So instead of using one eye to do some observing through your telescope, you'll use both eyes. And by using both eyes, there's a lot of benefits of that. So let's get right into it. So Binoviewers, what are they? So astronomical Binoviewers offer increased viewing comfort, allowing by observation with both eyes, which also enhances perceived detail and depth through binocular summation. This two-eye approach significantly reduces eye strain, decreases the impact of distracting floaters, and can make objects appear larger and more detailed. Users experience much more natural, immersive, and potentially longer observation sessions due to the reduced fatigue and improved visual data process. Now, just that what we've just said there says a whole lot. Now, Mike and I both use Binoviewers, and I think we both can attest to how much nicer it is to look at. I wasn't sure why it looked nicer. I just knew that it did look nicer. It looked much more open, but I didn't realize, because I do have floaters, and when I'm looking at a telescope, especially the moon, something bright, and I'm looking through just using a binocular or just a one eye piece, I'm forever fighting with my head moving it around so I can get the floaters out of the way so I can see certain detail. But I never had to do that when I had Binoviewers on, and by just doing some research on this, there it is. And so that's one huge benefit, especially if you're trying to study finite details on the moon. If you've got floaters, boys, oh boys, you're going to be fighting looking for certain features because the floaters are cutting off what you're seeing, right? So if you look at this particular photograph, you're going to see a refractor and a Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope, but Binoviewers on both of them. So this person's obviously an observer. Maybe he does some photography, maybe not. So let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping anything. Okay, so binoviewers are similar to binoculars. So some characteristics of binoviewing are the same as with conventional binocular use. The primary feature of binoviewing is that it fits the way our brains process visual information better than single eye or cyclops viewing. This is true both on binoviewers and binoculars, and is one reason that conventional binoculars are so popular in astronomy. Most users find that objects or star fields appear three-dimensional. Because of the narrow spacing of the objects, binoculars do not provide true depth perception. The brain is fooled into thinking it's there. The same effect is observed with binoviewers for the same reason. Another effect that's bringing the same information into both eyes permits the brain to process the information differently, making subtle details more apparent. User comfort is also a very important feature of any two-eyed viewing system, and it's much more relaxing to observe with both eyes than to either ignore or close one eye. And it really is. When I'm looking at Jupiter and the moons, or if I'm looking at the moon surface itself, when I'm looking through binoviewers, if I have a comfortable chair, I can sit there for hours because it's like looking out a great big pane window. It's that much of a difference. That's my thing. Now, here's where they're different from binoculars. Now, other binoviewer characteristics aren't shared by binoculars. One feature of binoviewers that's not generally a factor with binoculars is the suppression of floaters, which I talked about a minute ago, where the small exit pupil is being used. Floaters are bits of organic matter floating within the fluid of the eyeball. At small exit pupils, these can be distracting. With binoviewers, the brain can receive the same celestial view from both eyes and cancel out the floaters in each. So astigmatism is another effect noticed by many observers when using small exit pupils that can be canceled during processing. Less technical factors exist also. It's easier and less expensive to achieve larger apertures with a binoviewer setup than with binoculars. And the ability to change magnifications by switching eyepieces or adding focal multipliers or reducers is another advantage. So there's some differences between the two. Now here's the binoviewer anatomy. So on the left-hand side is sort of just a mock-up of what you might look at. If I could take the top off a set of binoviewers. On the right kind of explains a little bit how the light path goes. Now, this is the Orion binoviewer, which are the ones that I have. So basically, the light from the telescope goes through, and you can see that there's like any other light source. There's the red, the green, and the blue information. It all gets squeezed down into a focal plane, and then of course it's redispersed. But as it goes through this section of the binoviewer, there's 10 coated air-to-glass surfaces, 2 dielectric coated mirror surfaces, and the periscope train relays the pupil to disjoint splitter. So in other words, the light just goes through here, goes through a few pieces of glass, and then we've got these prisms, if you will, on the sides. So you can see again that there's one side for the left eye, one side for the right. The color gamut, of course, gets broken up, and the mirrors are angled to send that back down through the final hole where you would put your eyepieces. So that's kind of how a binoviewer works. You'll notice also in the center, and I'll show you on my real models when I open them up, that when you can actually move these up and down, so you can set it for the width of your eyes, because everybody's eye width is a little different. So telescopes that are bino friendly. So you're going to see that every telescope that most of us use is on the side there. So a Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope, these are often considered ideal for binoviewing due to the generous back focus. So anybody who owns a Schmidt-Cassegrain knows you've got so much travel with your focuser because you're actually moving the primary mirror when you're focusing, right? The Mac Casas are similar to Smith Cassegrains, and the Mac's design also offers sufficient back focus for binoviewer use. Some refractor telescopes, especially those designed to be binoviewer ready, have long focuser tubes or other modifications to provide the extra focuser travel needed. So if you buy a refractor telescope and it's got a short travel tube, you can buy an extension to put on it so that you can put a set of binoviewers on the back and get the extension that you need to use binoviewers. And reflector telescopes and reflectors are also encasing the typical reflectors we put on an EQ or an alt-az mount, as well as Dobsonian telescopes. They fall under the same category. So reflector telescopes, these can be used with binoviewers, though it may require modifications like shorter truss poles, or in the case of Dobsonian specific designs, such as GO2 or a ball scope reflectors, which help the balance and the balance issues. And we'll get into that. So there are factors to consider. So back focus and focus travel, the primary factor is whether your telescope has enough internal focus travel to bring the image into focus with the binoviewer attached. There's also optical path correctors and glass path correctors. And what they're talking about are basically Barlows and such. So if your telescope doesn't have enough back focus, you can use an OPC or a GPC. These devices add magnification, which would be a Barlow, to the system, effectively increasing the necessary light path and allowing the telescope to reach focus. Because lots of times if you put binoviewers in a fixed telescope, especially reflectors, and there's not enough focus travel, you can't get them in focus. Magnification binoviewers typically come with an internal Barlow lens or an OPC that adds magnification. High-end models offer switchable magnifications to provide versatility across different viewing situations. And the image quality without the OPC, the binoviewer prisms can induce aberrations, which are more noticeable at higher magnifications. However, with an OPC, these aberrations can be corrected and the view will be significantly better, especially when viewing the planets. Now, we've talked about the solid versus collapsible types of telescopes. And now we're talking specifically either Dobsonians or reflectors, which are the same. Dobsonian is just basically got a base that sits on the ground and it moves around like a lazy Susan, whereas a reflector is the same exact telescope design, but it's mounted to something different, that's all. But the idea behind them are this. So with binoviewers, when you're using a fixed focal length telescope, when you stick the binoviewers, say up here where that eyepiece is, sometimes you won't be able to reach focus because of the distance that the binoviewers need can't be adjusted because you can't move the mirrors in reflectors. But if you go to a collapsible type of a Dobsonian or tabletop Dobsonian or tabletop Newtonian, these ones here actually can be adjusted up and down. And in fact, when you're done using them, you actually collapse the whole thing down. It all collapses into those three poles. So with these particular telescopes, all you do is when you're setting them up, there's actually two notches. As you get out to focus or out to the extending the your secondary with your focuser, once you move that out, you'll feel a click before it's out all the way. That click that you feel there is the one that's all set up for you to use either a camera in it or binoviewers. If you go beyond that and go to the second click, which is full extension, then that's all set up for observing with just a singular eyepiece. So that's basically the type of telescope that if you do have one, you can use binoviewers with it. If you don't, some people, like if they had something like this, may have to make a modification to their telescope, and it could be a magnification optic, or you may have to move your mirror or move the secondary, one or the other. You got to move one or the other to get the focal length that you need. Now, with all that said, price. So first of all, where do you get them? You can get them at department stores, certain ones, Amazon, Marketplace, which are some of the secondhand places, Kijiji, Astro Buy Sell, or you can of course go to any one of your favorite telescope stores. So just give me 1 second here. I'm going to bring up if I don't already have it up. No, let me see here. No, I can't hide that stupid thing. There we go. All right, I might be able to pull it off here. Just give me a second. Bear with me. All right, I'm going to go to Binoviewers. Whoops. If I can spell, I'd be good. I spell it right? I know.
Yep.
Canada. Okay, so then let's go to Astronomy Plus. Everybody knows Astronomy Plus. All right, so at Astronomy Plus, depending on the kind of binoviewer you want to buy, you can see that they're priced all over the map. You can get the Celestron ones for about $360. You can go to the Baader Max Brights for around $638 to over $1,000. The William Optics you can get for $446, and that's another Baader that must have been a clear out at $750. So what makes one any different than the other? It's going to be the glass. It's going to be the prisms. It's going to be the coatings, all of those things, and obviously a little bit of it's going to be mechanics. But for the most part, if you're going to spend a lot of money on these, and it's not a lot of money, I guess, if you look at buying just even like one of the C Stars or an Astro camera, you're going to be between $700, $1,000 anyway. If you really love observing and you want that observing plus experience, I can't recommend them enough. So so that's kind of a short little run around on Binoviewers. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. There we go. And now I'm going to take, and I'll show you what they actually look like for real. So this is the pair that I have, and these are made by Orion. I'm seeing it backwards. Are you seeing it the right way, you guys?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, so what you have here is a binocular viewer. So it's a BAK4, and that's the kind of prisms that are in them. And as I was telling you earlier, you can move these back and forth like this, so that if your eyes are a little closer together than, say, the next person coming in, they can go up there and open them up a little bit more. So there's lots of flexibility that way. How they're made, of course, is they're the part that goes into the telescope is right here. And that's the part that'll go inside the scope, and you'll see some glass in there. Let me pull some of these caps off. There we go. So then basically, so the light path goes in here, and then through those prisms and everything else, it gets split up and then sent out to both eyes. You'll notice too that on these Binoviewers, they have individual focusers. So depending on your eyes, if you've got one that's a little different and has to be focused different than the other, you can actually adjust that to make them a little different. Now, what I use in mine, because I really like wide views, that's the reason I got these. I have these Orion, they're called, these are old Plossels, but these are the Orion, there we go, the highlight Plossel. And I got a pair of those, and they're the 26 millimeter. And so they just basically, they just pop in like that. Tighten that down so that locks it so it won't fall out. Take your second one out. Pop the cap off here. So you drop your second one in, tighten that up. Then you just put them up to your, you put them into your telescope. Look in with just one eye and just make sure that you're focused pretty much on one eye. And then you start doing your adaptability on the eyes. And all that is you just take one eye, focus it like you would a pair of binoculars, get it so that it's nice and sharp, and then just go and close that eye and then work on the second eye. Once you got them both nice and sharp, then basically just fit them so that you're seeing a circle, the same as when you set up binoculars. You want to see a circle, not two circles. And when you see one big circle, then you're pretty well lined up, and then you can start looking and observing. Now, having said all of that, oh, by the way, you can get, this one here is a reducer. So you can get reducers for them. So if you want even a wider look, or you can get Barlow. So if you want even a deeper look. So either way, you can have that on there. So is it for everybody? That's the question. Hey, Chris.
Hmm?
So
No,
not not everybody can use Binoviewers. Most people can, but every once in a while you're going to come to across somebody who has a problem being able to fixate two signals into one, and that's called BVD of all things. That's what I said. Remember those three letters, and that's binocular visual dysfunction, which means that you can't marry two images into one with your eyes. It could be a number of different reasons for that. Some people can't do it, and some people can. So, but the majority, I would say 95% of the people should have no trouble with using Binoviewers. Now, we talked about this before, but Mike and I had an absolutely wonderful night at Fun Day one time, looking at some stuff with her. But we had Mike had his 9 1/4 out, and we said, okay, let's have a look at the dumbbell. And I got to tell you, man, it was one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see looking through Binoviewers. And at the same time, when I'm here at the house, and if I've got my little 6-inch Smith Cassegrain out, I'll take the Binoviewers, put it in, and look at the moon, and there is nothing that can even compare to how satisfying that is to look at the moon with the Pleiades or Jupiter. If you've got like a 9 1/4 or something that'll give you good resolution, looking at the planets like Jupiter and the moons, you will be so thrilled. You'll be hard pressed to pull yourself away from it, because it really it's that much more comfortable, and you see that much more because everything is just so more realistic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So anyway, so that's kind of my little spiel on Binoviewers.
So we had a question, Paul. Dwayne's asking. Actually, Dwayne was. He said, "Glad to hear that you're doing this topic this week," because he had a set that he hasn't used yet. But he said, being you need two of the same eyepieces. Have you tried to use two zoom eyepieces before?
No, I haven't tried it. I think it'd be a little difficult. You probably could, but you would have to, you'd have to zoom them to exactly the same focal length. So, because you're going to go 8-24, a zoom eyepiece will go 8-24, right? Mm. So there may or may not be some useful magnification in there. I don't know. I've never tried one in it. What I do is I've got 3 sets of eyepieces that I use, and I make sure they're all the same on.
I would wonder if a click zoom might, because you're going to click to the same focal length on them, as opposed to just trying to adjust one or the other at the same.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't work, but to be honest, I've not tried it.
If you got 2, why not give it a try?
In theory it should work, but to be honest, I couldn't say to you yes or no, because I really haven't tried it. But it'd be something to try for sure. Yeah.
Paul mentioned,
because then if you could, it makes sense in theory, because then you would have bino strength from 8-24, which is what most of those zoom eyepieces are. Yeah. So, good question.
And I do struggle with just normal binoculars. I don't know if anybody else out there does, but even the normal set of binoculars, I'll try hard, but I don't get that 3D view. I'll get a look at something with both eyes, but and it's just never the ability to use them properly.
These don't give you a 3D view.
No.
The difference between Binoviewers and binoculars is binoculars, you have 2 separate streams of light coming in, one to each eye. This one, you have the same stream of light coming in and split to 2 eyes. Right. So you're not seeing in stereo. You're actually looking at the same, but just with 2 eyes instead of 1 eye.
Your brain is perceiving.
Yeah, your mind gives you the perception, and boy, I'll tell you, it works good, your mind, because it does make it feel and look like it's in stereo view.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
The other part, they have new Binoviewers out now, and they cost a lot more. They're some of those ones that are up to $1,000, but you don't have to buy or have a Barlow to correct for a refractor, a short refractor, or a reflector telescope. It's built into the Bino. It's built into the Binoviewer now, but they're $1,000 plus. So it corrects the distance inside the Binoviewer rather than these ones where if you're using a reflector, you have to put a Barlow in to correct for that shift that you don't have in a like a solid tube. But the new ones that are out there, I forget what they're called, I just looked them up the other day, and they're built with that correction in there, so you can use them in Dobsonians without having to
that's
change
perfect.
the mirrors. So
Yeah.
Another question here. Dan's asking, how are they for eyeglass wearers?
That'll depend on your eyepiece itself.
Mm.
So some eyepieces are set up, like if you have a set of the old Teleview Radians, they're designed for eyeglass users. And I think they switched to Naglers, is what they're called now. But there are ones that are favorable for eyeglass users. But if your vision is not that bad, then take your glasses off, and because you can adjust them
With
to focus
in
for
it.
your vision anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Between the travel of the telescope scope itself, you know, the focuser, and the adjustability of the eyepieces, you should be able to, without glasses, view. And it'll be better in that if you're around any place at all, there's a little bit of stray light. By having those, let me just show you here. By having these eye cups up and your eye into them, it takes care of that stray light.
Yeah.
So that's a little better. So I mean, if you're an eyeglass user, certainly try it with them. I am, but lots of times when I'm viewing, I just take the glasses off, and I just find it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Because there's usually enough focal distance, at least for my eyesight, that I have no trouble being able to focus on stuff.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have any stray light coming in, like I said, either. Right. So.
Yeah, it'll help with that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. Great talk.
All right.
Yeah, you sold me, kind of. Actually, I had a set and I sold them because I couldn't get them to work.
there's another use for them too. If you put an eyepiece in one side, you can put a camera in the other side, and so you can image and look at the same time.
You could.
Yes, absolutely you can. It's split into two streams. If you put two cameras on there, one can become an imaging camera, the other one can become a guide camera. Technically, it's the same, right? You focus the two of them differently, just like you would focus your two eyepieces. So
yeah,
it's something that people don't think of. I've actually tried it. It works. I've looked through an eyepiece and had it on the screen at the same time with a planetary camera.
Yeah. You just have to be careful not to bump it.
One more question.
Well, I don't have the scope, but I'm looking anyway.
One more question from Derek. Would a Barlow with no lens work to allow these to work on a reflector?
What was the question again?
No, you have to have a shorter focal length. You have to shorten the reflector, not lengthen it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, even you're putting an extender in. You don't want an extender. You want the mirrors closer together.
Yeah. So what the Barlow does is it gives you the extra focal length and puts you closer.
Right.
Actually, puts you closer, right?
Right.
So
if you just use the tube, no, you're not gonna. It's not gonna make any difference for you.
No. A Barlow would probably be what you need a magnifier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, a lot of people don't know this, but on Dobsonian telescopes, where your focusing rig is, and that tube that your eyepiece goes into, that unscrews on a lot of telescopes right down to almost flat surface on your Dobsonian. So there's actually rings that are actually built right into the rigging that you take off, so that you can actually use that with a camera on a Dobsonian. So a lot of people don't know that. I'll get that video sometime and I'll put it up. The fellow that used to own All-Star Telescope, Ken Frum. If those videos are still there with All-Star, who owns it now, the new fella, Ken does a whole talk on that on a video, and it shows you how to do it.
Okay.
So go to All-Star Telescope, look at some of the older videos, because Ken used to do a ton of them, and I think they still have them.
Yeah.
And if they do, you can go there and see that. And if you want to take pictures with your dog.
Back to Binoviewers, it's all about the back focus. They can making the focus run shorter, not longer. So
great. And Pat says Blue Jays won. Hey.
Hey.
There you go. Woohoo.
13-7. Wow, yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. Thanks guys for that. Good talk.
All
and
right.
Let's move on to Bino Bud maybe next.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Good.
I know there's a present button here somewhere.
Down on the bottom.
Yeah. Well, just gotta get the right screen. I often pick the wrong screen. Alrighty. So, Bino Buds, binocular target of the week this week is, and I think you've seen this one before because I actually done 52 of these. So, is the backward 5. Or you can look at it. Some say it might be an upside down 2. But anyway, it's the difference between upside down 6 and upside right 9. So the asterism backward 5 looks just like it, a backward 5. Or some people see it as an S or number 2. Easily seen, being located near Zeta Hercules. And if you put Zeta Hercules in the center of your field of view in binoculars, you will see the backward 5. So, where do I start? Look up in the sky tonight at 2100 hours. Orient yourself 270 degrees to the west because it's already past Zeta. Look up, find the keystone in Hercules, and there's Zeta Hercules right in there. Put your binoculars on that star, and you'll see the backward 5 right down in this area here. A little closer view, there's that Zeta Hercules star, and there's, starting with a brighter star here, the backward 5. Or the number 2, some people see it as. What does it look like? There you go. Nice colored stars all together in little lines. Just makes a perfect 5 or a 2, however you want to do it. But it's right there, and there's that Zeta Hercules star. So it's easy to find, easy to do. 10 by 50 binoculars. It looks a little small, but it is right in there. You find that Zeta Hercules star, come down. You'll find the brighter star here, and there's the number 2 right in this area here, right? The number 5, backward 5. Compared to the full moon, it's about the size of the full moon. So, yes, it's not a big target, but the moon's pretty easy to see in a pair of binoculars. Zeta Hercules is easy to find. Come on down. You'll find the backward 5 in your binoculars. It's kind of cool to see. Are you ready for this one?
No.
Why do astronauts use Linux? Because they can't open windows in space.
Oh.
That's binocular target of the week by Bino Bud. Well, they can't.
Why do we let him continue with that stuff, Paul? I don't know.
Oh. Well, now. Where'd he
Where'd he
go?
go? He left the meeting. He got mad.
You embarrassed him, Chris.
I guess I did. Come on back, Mike. Anyway,
Oh, man, so funny.
I think we're ready for Rosanna's fun fact. He'll come back.
We are. I just got to fix my screen here. Hang on. Okay, one more second. And there we go. Okay, let me find our meeting switch. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. And
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
well, welcome back, Rosanna, for another absolutely wonderful fun fact as usual. And so let's get started. So Rosanna writes, hi, Paul. The first thing that crossed my desk earlier this week, and get ready for this, folks, because NASA is closed. Woo. So more than 15,000 NASA civil servants have been furloughed as the U.S. federal government enters a shutdown. The grinding halt forces NASA and other agencies to scale back nearly all of their day-to-day operations after lawmakers in Washington, D.C. failed to pass a government funding bill by the deadline. Only a fraction of NASA's workforce remains on duty, assigned to missions that cannot be paused without risking astronaut safety or critical hardware. But not very long after the depressing email, a friend sent an article from Sky and Telescope with a positive story and that balanced the negative side of the news. This guy, Stefan Alexander, is a professional saxophone jazz musician. And along with the claim to fame, he also is a theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author. What does music and physics have to do with each other? As usual, everything. Currently a professor at Brown's University, Stefan's academic career is stellar, although his thesis for his PhD was this: topological deficits in alternative theories to cosmic inflation and string cosmology. He recently ran an online event, approach. So what can scientists learn from artists? Where the really fun part of the story comes in is after school program for underestimated high schoolers in Manhattan. First of all, I love the word underestimated, but more importantly, this program, Sound and Science, is open to all. All you have to do is fill out the online form. No grades, no referrals, no payments. And if you need help with the form, that's available as well. Having faced a lot of discrimination in his pursuit of his various degrees, Stefan wanted somehow to provide both science and music opportunities for youth. So students work in a collaborative studio environment where they can create music projects using digital recording software and learn to write their own sound and music software. They are guided in translating scientific ideas like frequency, harmony, rhythm, and patterns into musical information through programming and experimentation. The process allows them to experience physics and math not as abstract equations, but as living tools for creative expression. They meet every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 7 at his lab and studio in Civic Hall, 124 East 14th Street in New York City, near Union Square. Throughout the program, students will learn the science of sound, Logic Pro recording software, and how to program, in Python, among other exciting topics. In parallel, they will design and create their own solo and group music and science-related projects, such as coded music pieces, data-driven sound compositions, collaborative performances, and whatever else interests them related to the music and science. That is so cool. Throughout the program, students are mentored closely by PhD students and local college STEM majors who help them connect concepts to practice. They also participate in master classes where musicians, producers, technologists, and scientists share how their work at intersection of music and STEM shape entire industries. I don't think it can get much cooler than that, but it kind of does. The program builds toward a showcase in which students present their projects, allowing them to share their work with peers, mentors, and invited guests and gain recognition for their creativity and achievement. At the end of the program, students receive a certificate of accomplishment, which they can use in college and career applications. They may also request a recommendation letter from Dr. Alexander. In case you were wondering, the Sound and Science program is funded by Simon Foundation, not the US government, or it would have already been cut. There we go. Although Stefan has alternative view of the Big Bang, theorizing that the early universe emerged from a destructive event or force at the end of a string, a point called a D minus brane, B-R-A-N-E, like a bubble popping. These words from his book, The Jazz of Physics. The reason why music has the ability to move us so deeply is that it is an auditory illusion to our basic connection to the universe. And this could not be more true. Pythagoras was right. Now, there is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. And it just might be jazz. And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
There you go. Oh,
Awesome.
man, what a good topic, eh? This kind of reminds me of Brian May, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, here's a rock god, so to speak, guru, I guess for would be a better word, and he's an astrophysicist and is very, very deep. In fact, he was involved a lot with Sir Patrick Moore. So this guy, he's been around, and so it's not uncommon for musicians, a lot of musicians, as their secondary hobby or first hobby to actually be astronomy. And you'll find that a lot. So it's very interesting. So Rosanna, great topic.
As we talk to a drummer.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Rosanna.
Absolutely.
Great topic as always. Okay, let's get into some photos because we're getting a little bit late here. Hang on screen.
Oh, we got a lot of time. We've got 20 minutes.
We do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me give a, hang on, I'm just going to show the audience a little bit of a zip until we get things opened here. I think we're opened here now. Over here. There, okay. And now I can go back to the audience screen. Do I want? Oh, share screen. Share this one. Does people see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great.
let's show it to the audience now. Okay, here we go.
Looks great.
So let me get this back to full screen again too. Full screen, there we go. Okay. All right, let's start off with these ones. This one's from Brad Perry. Brad says, just sharing a few captures. It's been an eventful week. He said the first shot is of an ISS pass on Sunday, the 28th, shortly after 9 p.m. Why is it still saying you are presenting on my screen there? Okay.
I was gonna say that's what I'm seeing on Facebook is you're presenting.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. No. Doesn't want to get rid of that.
Yep.
No. Close.
There's lag here. I don't know yet.
Hang on a sec. There. Okay, there we go. No.
There we are.
Did I do
Looks
this?
like your business.
Still got a dot in the middle of the picture, don't I?
I think if you move your mouse, it goes away.
It goes back again. There. Okay, we'll try again. Just sharing a few captures. He said it's been an eventful week. The first shot is of an ISS pass on Sunday, the 28th, shortly after 9 p.m. The bright moon, he said, made it a bit of a challenge, but I thought it would be interesting to try to get this one as the ISS pass right above the moon and across the Milky Way at the same time. So pretty cool.
And it looks like a car going by on the road with the red lights.
It does.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's neat. Nice enclosure.
Nicely done, Brad.
Looks like a big giant comet.
Does.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get back to full screen here again. I don't know what's causing my issues here tonight. Oh, here we go. Go over here. Hang on, just give me a second.
It's a long exposure too, so you see the red light that's on the road.
Hmm.
That would be a car.
Hmm.
Or
No.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe a truck.
All right. Saying all that, let's go to a couple of other photos. You said the other two photos are a couple of aurora captures from the 30th. This one's from a clear cut in Astle, A-S-T-L-E.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice, eh?
Oh yeah.
Well, we didn't see it like that down here.
Mm.
No, sure.
Very nice.
He's got some favorite spots, I'm sure. And this one, he says, is from a ridge overlooking the highway in Peniac.
Wow, eh?
The
Look at the lights.
display in the 30th briefly got bright enough that I could see the greens in color, which doesn't happen for me very often, he says. In the shot from the following night, it's worth pointing out that all the light on the landscape is just from the moon.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So it's impressive.
Yeah, like that the other night, Mike, when you were taking pictures of
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah.
How bright it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's gorgeous.
So he says, so it's impressive that the aurora was eventually able to overcome it, for sure. Yeah. So greatly done there, Brad. As always, thank you. Okay, let's switch to Derek King's capture. Oh, no, that's not Derek King. This is Des Reyes of her capture of the moon the other night.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
We had our nice big bright moon.
Just above the trees.
Just above, yeah.
I have Derek's pictures in here. I hope I do. Are they in here? Oh, I must have missed them. Darn it. Well, hang on. I might be able to still bring them up. Okay, we're going to keep going here anyway. And then we have Paula LeBlanc's capture of the moon last night.
Yes, sir.
International Observer of the Moon night, so a lot of people were out taking a peek.
Oh, yes.
Very nicely.
Yeah. Guillaume LeBlanc, I think it's the right way to pronounce it. His capture of the moon. And Tina Lapointe is next.
Nice.
Hey, Tina.
Nice.
Maggie Baucus, she says, I'm at Oak Bay, looking up, she says.
Oh,
There.
same color. Use the trees. Cool.
And Joey and Haley Craswell. He said, Haley Craswell and I have clear skies at Mactaquac Campground. So we were under cloudy skies at that point, but they were clearing up and on the way through for us. So.
Oh, good, nice capture.
Yeah.
And
I think that's almost a color moon, Mike.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they're up good.
Yeah.
You see some little blue there.
Yeah.
Here's one from Ann Driscoll. Nice
Yes,
capture,
sir.
Ann.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm going to move into Chris Benoit's capture here now. Moonshots, he says, International Observe the Moon Night using a Bausch and Lomb 8000 SCT with the Celestron Next Image 5.
Yeah, right on.
There you go.
He got a nice video out there, too.
Mm.
Nice work.
Nicely done.
Nice seeing details like that close, eh?
Mm.
Thank you, everybody. Mark Ficken's capture here of IC 342, 673 total minutes, he says, and some editing in Snapseed, and here it is, all acquired in Bronte. Some conditions were hazy, and of course the moon. So to get all that with all that light pollution, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Nicely done. Okay, I'm going to go to Kathy Adams' capture here. She says, I love this time of year and into the winter. The Dwarf 3 over 2 nights, about 4 hours and 30 seconds of exposures.
Yes, sir.
The gain was 60, stacked in serial and processed using DxO Photolab and Photoshop.
Oh, nice detail in the bands, eh?
Yeah, got love and drama.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
placed just right in the night sky, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, she's up in Woodstock or something.
Perfectly placed right now, though, too, for observing.
Yeah, nice.
That's something this time of year for it.
Yeah.
Nice job, Nicole.
Well done.
Well done, Kathy. David Smard's capture here of NGC 7331
Well done.
and NGC 891.
Oh, look at that, eh?
Look at that. Wow.
Nicely done. And then he's got M33 as well here. That's a tough one, but that's
Yeah.
nice. That's one of the
Oh,
prettiest,
nicely done.
that's one of the prettiest galaxies right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one turned, like if you're using a C Star, the 50,
Yeah.
Robert had done one a few weeks ago. It's a relatively bright galaxy to shoot,
Right.
and boy oh boy does that scope ever do a nice job, because it's just the right size
Yeah.
to take it in, and and that impresses me. That very nice.
Awesome. Okay, and I'm going to go to one here from Francois Theriault.
Wow.
It's just unbelievable, his stuff. SH2190, the Heart Nebula in Cassiopeia, he says, my second version of the Heart Nebula. I imaged an additional 6 hours last night to increase the SNR in my image. I also processed with a more muted palette, as the signal from the 3 gases is quite strong. The telescope used was a Stellar View SV60 EDS, focal length of 330 millimeter.
Right on.
A camera was a ZWO ASI 1600 millimeter Pro. His exposures time, I'm going to say total time, was 10.4 hours.
Man,
Unbelievable detail.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing. Yeah.
And for such a small telescope, the amount of detail you're able to capture is really good.
He knows what he's doing for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Very nice.
Very nice. Now I think I might have, I'm going to try opening this one up just a second. Is this his? I think it might be. Yeah, I think these are Derek's here, so hang on a second. So I'm going to just bring these over here. Stop sharing just for a second. No, I think I can do it the other way. Bring it over here, maybe.
Well, you got that up. Nice job on the stars too. Really nice, soft, round stars. Beautiful.
Not seeing anything there change, did you?
I'm looking at Francois' photo.
Okay,
Still
right.
up.
Yeah, still okay.
Yeah.
So give me a second. I'll stop sharing first.
Very nice.
Stop sharing. Okay. I think I got the 3 here from Derek, so I wanted to bring them up as well. So it's 1 second. On the right screen. Should be here. And try again. These are from Derek King. So Derek can send them in. I apologize for not having them right up. Second. Window. Go over here.
There we go.
There, so there's one at least.
Wow.
Nice, nicely done. second capture here.
Oh,
That spikes.
where's Derek? Where's Derek at?
I'm not sure exactly where Derek is. I think he's on here. He can probably comment.
Because there was a couple of shots near the Redforth Wharf. Somebody got some Aurora too, which I was quite surprised.
There's a Big Dipper.
Yeah,
You're in the right spot. Thank you for those.
Yeah.
yeah, nice shots.
Okay, stop sharing again for a second because I got to go back to my display. And I was where was I? No, wasn't there. Sorry, just a second. Nope, not there either. Too many
So
windows
Mike,
open.
you mentioned tonight you might go out and shoot the moon and Saturn.
Yeah, they're close together tonight. It'd be nice if it's clear. I haven't looked out to see what's going on with the sky, but it should be. I don't think they're calling for anything.
There was a lot of high cloud earlier, but I haven't been out to look myself, so I really don't know what's out there.
Okay, back to where we were. Sorry, guys. So, nope,
All right.
hang on.
We were just
No,
talking
no,
amongst
no.
ourselves.
Good. Do the share here. All right. So yeah. So back to send your images in. So we do like getting them. Sometimes I get them a little bit disorganized, but I try to get them all on. If we don't get them on this week, we'll have them up next week for sure. So this is where you want to send them to, though. Send your images to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up on our next broadcast. Won't we, guys?
Absolutely.
So in that picture, Chris, or Mike, I guess, because Mike made the picture.
Yeah.
Chris is holding Mike from
Yep.
from getting blown into space.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no,
There I am.
I'm more worried about holding my coffee.
Mike's the only one outside. He must have run through the drive-through to get that coffee.
The fly through.
Nicely done.
Oh,
Okay,
funny.
quickly, what's going to happen coming up? What we got tonight? There's our view, the moon and Saturn. So we were just talking about that a second ago. The moon is going to be less than 2 degrees from will actually give us moon from Saturn. So if you're looking underneath the moon tonight and you see a nice bright object, actually it'll be beside the moon for a little bit, then underneath the moon, then beside the moon again before it sets, right? So, but anyway, nice view if you've got a pair of binoculars or a small telescope to pick up Saturn while you're looking at the moon. So 2 targets in one little spot, great spot. Tomorrow night, of course, on Monday evening is the full hunter's moon. This is the first of 3, quote, super moons. Yay! The moon actually turns full on Tuesday morning at 12:47 Atlantic time for us, but because it's rising tomorrow night and changing overnight early, we call tomorrow night the full moon. Moon rises in the east-northeast tomorrow at 6:54 p.m. Atlantic time. And moving on from there, we'll have the moon visit the Pleiades by the end of the week on Thursday. This is looking east on Thursday night at 10:30 Atlantic time. So waning gibbous moon with Pleiades sitting there. Always nice to see the two of them together as beautiful celestial objects. This is just through a pair of 10 by 50 binoculars too. So, and this is the show coming up. So the October show coming up at the middle of the month or third week. Mike's smiling and smirking, and is it going to happen? Well, we're hoping so, but here's what we got. So this is Comet C2025 R2 Swan. We're hearing a lot about that one now. It's in the western part of the sky just after sunset. Its closest approach to us will be on October the 20th, and it's at about a magnitude 5.9 right now as of October 5th. So it is binocular view, but not quite naked eye view yet from a dark sky. We want to be right around 5 or so for a binocular view. Now, the other comet is C2025 A6 Lemon, and a lot of people are capturing that now in the morning sky. And it's going to switch to the evening sky next week, and then its closest approach to Earth will be on the October 21st. And it's around the magnitude 6.2 is what they're reporting. I checked for 4 different sites. They're all saying right around there. So it's still outside of the visual range, but certainly within binocular and telescope view. And also at that same time, we have the Orion meteor shower that's peaking on the morning of October 21st. So that show usually puts out about 20 to 30 meteors per hour, which is a nice activity because also it's new moon day. So no moon in the sky. So we have two comets in the sky. You have, and they're going to be not going to be in the same place as they're showing with all the memes on Facebook and stuff. They're not, within a few degrees. They're actually on either end of the sky. But we may have an opportunity to catch both of these. Hopefully they'll continue to brighten. Apparently A6 Lemon was in January was at 13 something, so it's brightened quite a bit. So we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next week or two. But fingers crossed for all this show coming up. And is that what I got? Oh, okay. So we do have our map here from Lisa as well. Lisa Fanning from Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More. Lisa puts out this great chart every month. You can go to her page and find the chart and download it for yourself. She's here she lists the events. She lists the dates of the events, the peak time for that event, and what you need for seeing tools, naked eye, binoculars, or a telescope. You can find Lisa at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Mastodon, Facebook, Threads, and now on Blue Sky. Thank you, Lisa. And of course, our local calendar, Kurt Nason puts together for us. This is a 6-week calendar. October 5th, October 12th, we're getting up to a new one pretty soon. The September-October calendar from sjastronomy.ca or rascanb.ca. Go to sjastronomy.ca. You can download this calendar right there. And I think that's all I got to say about that. There.
So before we got online tonight, we were talking about MEPAC. And I did look up the telescopes, and the 8-inch Dobsonian and up will do a magnitude of 14.
8-inch
Okay.
up? Okay.
Because it's a 13.6, so.
So it'd be kind of close, but
Yeah.
you'd probably have to be in a really dark sky.
Well, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Right.
So visual or
Visual,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, if you know exactly which one you're looking at, I guess too, right?
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
you
tougher
like
part.
Mike was saying, you'd have to put a camera in and then snap a shot, and then maybe an hour or two later snap a shot again,
Right.
or however long. I'm not sure what the
Yeah,
intervals are.
even the next day maybe, or next night.
Yeah,
However,
yeah.
something moves.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if someone could, if they had a larger telescope and in an observatory where they could, plate solve that for a couple of nights. It'd be really cool if we could.
Well, I'd love to have a picture of me back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's something that we're shooting for, but we'll see. Maybe lucky. I mean, it is up for a little while right now, so I think it's up for a month or so.
Getting higher, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so in closing then tonight, thank you all for joining us this evening. Now, next week we are going to talk a little bit about Comet Swan and Comet Lemon. It is kind of an exciting event coming up if it does all materialize for us perfectly, which we know it's gonna, always does. But anyway, it's a week after that, after next week, when the two comets are supposed to be in good places, I'll say, in the sky. They're already in, one of them's already in the morning sky and the evening sky, but they're supposed to get a little bit closer together. So we'll see what happens, and they're supposed to get brighter too. So, and we've got the Orion meteor shower coming up, so we'll talk all about that next week. So our special thanks again goes out to Rosanna for her continued contributions for the show. Thank you, Rosanna. As always, special thanks goes out to all of you who share our program. Really do appreciate it. Mark Fickton, I think, shared it about 27 times or something tonight. So Trudy as well, and everybody else. Also, remember too, we do love getting your photos, so send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up in our next broadcast. And if you have a suggestion for a topic for a future show, please let us know at the same address. And please let your friends and family know that we are here every Sunday night, back here at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook to entertain you on astronomy and the wonders of the night sky. So for now then, from Mike, Paul, and Rosanna and I, wish you all a safe and happy week. Lots of clear skies, everybody. As we like to say, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Good night, everyone.